What's happening, Steeler Nation, man? Thanks for tuning in to another Pittsburgh Steelers before play. This time it is week 13. The Steelers versus the Arizona Cardinals. They will be coming into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. The Cardinals will coming in 2-10. The Steelers obviously are 7-4. But listen, man, sometimes you got to throw records out the window. You never want to take anything for granted in the NFL. But I will say, I kind of said this last week. I think I even said this against Cleveland, more so against Cincinnati. This is a game that I do think the Pittsburgh Steelers can win. Yes, the Arizona Cardinals do have some talent on their roster, but they have some injuries that they're dealing with. But like I said, man, they just not have been playing really, really good football. They've been in some games that were close, but they've also been blown out of some games. So I do feel like this is a game that the Steelers can win, but we're definitely going to have to give some minor keys to victory, and I will do that here in just a moment. Now, really quick, what I always want to do, let me bring it up here. We always want to take a look at who's in and who's out for the Pittsburgh Steelers. As you can see, man, as far as game time status, the only one that we're dealing with or worrying about, per se, is Montravius Adams. And like I said, man, Montravius Adams did a great job for the Steelers early in the season, but the Steelers have not really missed a beat. They've kind of gotten the run game under control, so feel good about where they are defensively. But again, keep an eye on Montravius Adams, and if he does play, who's inactive, et cetera, et cetera. But let's also just take a look at the rest of this injury report. Again, we're always going to talk about who showed up on the report Friday in case there's a setback. Kenny Pickett, we all know that he was dealing with an ankle of sort, but he was a full participant on Friday. Allen Robinson, just rest. Deontay Johnson was full. He had an illness. Calvin Johnson with the ankle was full. We know Calvin Johnson also had an ankle situation after Cincinnati, so to see that he was full, that's good. Minkah Fitzpatrick, hooray, hooray. Minkah to save the day. He is full. James Pierre was limited. And who else do I have on the list here? Montravius Adams, obviously limited. And then as well, Cam Hayward. Again, that's just rest, veteran benefit, if you will. But he was full on Friday, so we're good there. Now let's just take a look here, man, at the Arizona Cardinals. Let me scroll down here. As far as their game status, hold on, let me make sure I get them all in the screen. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, here we go. So look at this, man. Game status. Cornerback Antonio Hamilton is out. Cornerback Starling Thomas V. Starling Thomas V. Is that the fifth? He is out. Offensive lineman Elijah Wilkinson is out. Michael Wilson is out. I think he's one of their receivers. It says he's a receiver, but when I say I think, I'm talking about depth chart. I don't really know the Cardinals depth chart, so I'm assuming some of these guys are starters. But I believe Michael Wilson is a starter. He's out. Joey Blunt is questionable. He's a safety. Hollywood Brown, obviously we know he's a receiver. He's questionable. Trey McBride, the tight end, is questionable. Zach Pascal rests, but he's questionable. It says personal. Kevin Strong is questionable with the knee. He's a defensive lineman for them. And then Jalen Thompson, one of their safeties, is questionable with ribs. And like I said, guys, I don't know the depth chart per se. I did look at it, but I don't know who's a starter and who's not. And looking at the Friday report, it's pretty much the same people on the list. So that's really all we have to worry about and talk about there. So like I said, man, it looks like the Cardinals are depleted in some areas. They're dealing with some injuries. Again, they're 2-10. Again, sometimes you throw the records out the window. I would say all the time you throw the records out the window. But again, their record is their record. They have been kind of playing like that, have not played the greatest football. Some games they were in this year. They lost the games very, very close. If I remember correctly, I think they beat the Dallas Cowboys. And actually, I don't know where my phone is. I think my phone is in the other room. Let me ping it really quick. Hold on, guys, because I want to see if my phone is in here. It's right here. It's right around me somewhere. Oh, look at this. It's on my desk. Headphones were covering it. I want to see. I looked up their schedule, so I'll let you guys know, who they played, their wins and losses, and kind of give you the score. To just to kind of show you the kind of games that they've been in, man. Listen, their first game they won against the Broncos, it was 18-17. Lost to the Chiefs, 38-10. They won with the Vikings. They beat the Vikings 18-17. They lost to the Commanders 20-16. They lost to the Giants 31-28. They beat the Cowboys. Well, wait a minute. Am I tripping? Oh, my bad. I was looking at preseason as far as the Broncos. My bad. So, yeah, they do only have two wins. So it shows, I don't know why it's not showing their full schedule here. This is weird. For some reason, it's showing, it says week 1, but it shows preseason, which is weird. And then it's week 2, week 3. Okay, here we go. I was looking at preseason. That's my bad. Week 1, they lose to the Commanders 20-16. Week 2, lose to the Giants 31-28. Week 3, they beat the Cowboys. I remember that game, 28-16. Week 4, they lose to the Niners 35-16. They lose to the Bengals in week 5, 34-20. Week 6, they lose to the Rams 26-9. Week 7, they lose to the Seahawks 20-10. In week 8, they lose to the Ravens 31-24, but they was able to put up 24 against the Ravens. Week 9, the Cleveland Browns pitched the shutout 27-0. Week 10, they won against the Falcons 25-23. And then in week 11, 21-16, they lose to the Texans. And then last week, week 12, they lose again to the Rams 37-14. So it looks like the bigger losses, some of the bigger losses were in division. Obviously, Cleveland is out of division. But as you can see there, and obviously Kansas City as well, they haven't played the greatest football, but some of those games were close. So I say that to say you can't just look at this as this is a guaranteed win. There's no win in the NFL, but I do think, no guaranteed win in the NFL, but I do think the Steelers have an opportunity to beat this team, man. Like I said, I think the keys to victory is the same keys that I had last week and pretty much the last couple weeks. Now that we've seen some signs of an offense with the Pittsburgh Steelers, continue to keep that balance. That's the key. If the Steelers can keep the balance that they had, particularly against the Bengals, 33 passes, 33 runs, if you can keep that balance offensively and sustain those drives the same way you played against the Bengals, maybe convert more of those red zone opportunities or near red zone opportunities into points, I think the Steelers have an excellent chance to win the game. And that's what I'm going to say offensively. Keep the balance. Keep that run game going. However, I definitely know that the Cardinals are going to try to stuff the run. Obviously, the Pittsburgh Steelers have rushed for over 100 yards in 4 straight games. They said they had not done that since 2004. I think I heard the stats watching the Sights and Sounds video on Steelers.com. So obviously the Cardinals are going to come out and try to stop the run. Mike Tomlin even mentioned that. He mentioned some fronts that they do defensively that they're definitely going to, deploy to try to stop the run. So if the Steelers can stay balanced, maybe take advantage of those situations where you might get your one-on-ones on the outside and make the Cardinals stay honest. Make them have, not be able to just sit back, relax, and, put mad people in the box or stay in a run defense. So again, if the Steelers can stay consistent, fluid, and sustainable, balanced, if they can come out with that same type of, consistency that they had against the Bengals, I think they have a good opportunity to win this game. Defensively, man, listen, I don't think there's too much the Steelers have to worry about in the secondary in terms of guys beating them. I mean, Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown is a speed guy. I mean, of course, he's known to be able to get behind defenders, of course. But I don't know if I fear anyone on this Cardinals team. I think what you want to do is make them one-dimensional. Again, you can say this every week, but, the same stuff applies a lot of times, depending on the matchup. Make them one-dimensional because if you have to put it in Kyler Murray's hands and, him being shorter stature, you would hope that the pass rush can get to him. So if you can contain his mobility, so stuff the run with him and James Conner, I'm sure James Conner will be fired up a little bit coming back to Pittsburgh. If you can maintain balance and kind of stifle their run and force them into more passing situations, I think it would be advantageous for the Steelers, particularly guys like TJ Watt, who's known to swat the ball, TJ Swat, if you will. Guys like Cam Hayward, Larry O, all of those guys have gotten their hands on a ball or two at the line of scrimmage. And again, like I said, with Kyler Murray being short, more of a short stature for a quarterback, keep him in that pocket and make him have to throw over people. And I think the Steelers have a great opportunity to be successful. So, like I said, defensively, just take care of them in the run game, man. Force them out of that run and force Kyler Murray into more than he would like passing situations. And I think the Steelers can walk away from this one with an 8-4 record, which would be great. The Steelers have opportunities in 2 consecutive games against the Cardinals, against the Patriots, to come out of this situation 9-4. And that would be awesome for the Steelers if they could do that heading down the stretch. So that's all I got. But I will say this as well. There's been a change in plans. I no longer have to go out of town this weekend, but I will be going to the game. Yes, I am going to the game. I told you guys I was going to find an opportunity to get another chance at enjoying that love and the aura and the energy of that stadium. I will be there tomorrow. It will be myself, my wife, and my little son, man, my little man. We gonna make it happen, man. We had such a good time the first time, him and I. My wife was a little jealous. So I said, all right, we'll go back this year and we'll all go. So, Sim family will be in attendance tomorrow at the game. So, post-game show will not be following the show. I'm sure I plan to do something when I get home. It's a 3-hour drive for me. So there you have it. But what I might do, man, is I might get a chance to do a little quick YouTube short or something like that following the game. But like I said, a full-fledged show will happen sometime tomorrow night. So I will be in attendance. So hopefully the Pittsburgh Steelers keep me happy. Last time against the Jags, I was not happy going home. So hopefully this can be a victory ride as I ride back home after the game. But outside of that, man, I'm always going to remind you guys, if you haven't, man, boom. If you like the video, hit that like button. You like the content, hit that subscribe button. And once you've done both of those, turn on those notification bell so you know when videos are uploaded and or live in action. All right, that's going to do it for me. Y'all know the routine, man. Stay safe. God bless. Stay healthy. Enjoy that game tomorrow. And hopefully we are talking about a victory. I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.